Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted. Everybody around me thugging. Everybody around me drugging. Everybody around me hustling. Everybody know not to bring no new rigging around me. They say I be bugging. Got racks in the go-yard luggage. Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Quentin Flores. This is another episode of Uncut with Q. Guys, this is going to be episode 44. I finally know where we're at on the spectrum of episodes because we have so many. And this is honestly really awesome. This was a goal of mine when we started the podcast earlier this year, that I'd have 100 episodes out come the new year. You know, that's going to be a goal that we bring out next year. But man, if this is your first time listening, we have so many different types of shows. Make sure that you guys lock into the last episode so you can see what type of shows that we have. But legit, you know, I bring on a cool friend. We interview him about how he did amazing shit. I have a friend of mine. His name's Trey. He and we look up trending topics on the internet. And there's about 3 other shows that we maximize on. And so, guys, if this is, again, your first time listening, we have what's called an exchange of value. And so the exchange of value is pretty simple. We give you value, you like that shit, and you share the fuck out of this podcast. If we don't do that, then we didn't give you value, then don't share the fucking podcast. But I think that the world operates better on a sense of when I do something great for you, you go and you tell somebody else about it. And so that is us giving back on this podcast. We don't run any ads. I don't pay anybody some crazy amounts of money to put this show out there. This is all 1000% word of mouth, organic as fuck. And so I like to keep it that way. For you guys that are just joining in, again, share this show. All right. For all my people that are coming back, thank you so much. You know, we're top 1% in the world right now. So it's pretty dope. So this is one of those shows, guys, where I bring on a really cool friend of mine. And this guy's somebody I've actually known for a long time, you know, and we both do amazing things here in San Antonio. Dude, introduce yourself, bro.
Well, that's a good intro you got. That's a lot of information you just dropped. And that's pretty much a good, that's why it's called Uncut. You know?
Yeah.
But my name is Nacion. I'm an entrepreneur here in San Antonio, Texas. I own a tattoo shop called Off the Clock Tattoo.
Dude, how long have you owned that shop? You got a new location, right? It's a bigger facility?
Yeah, it's like 4 times bigger than my older location. I'm probably going on a year. I forget.
I remember you guys literally like cut the big scissor thing and the ribbon open, right?
I'm trying to figure out. So I haven't done like a grand opening, like complete, but for the last shop I did.
Oh, okay. Then that's what I remember.
Yeah, but not this one yet.
Dude, you've scaled up crazy, man. Since I've known you, it's like every single year I see you doing crazier stuff, and you always meet with celebrities. Celebrities come and get tattooed by you, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm working on branching off to that type of clientele.
What celebrities have you tattooed?
So far, a WWE wrestler, 5-time world champion, Sasha Banks.
Wow.
Which is Snoop Dogg's cousin, Ray J's cousin. My homie Kalisto. His name's Manny. He was the one that wears a mask like Rey Mysterio. They're very, very famous, and they're good buddies with each other. And I almost tattooed Kalani. We're working on that. And then a few other artists that I've met when we're at shows, and always trying to network with them, trying to just offer my services.
I see you. You're always like in crazy places with high value people. I saw you hanging out with Goldberg recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the wrestler?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, bro.
Yeah, man. That was crazy. That was really
How did
cool.
you even get in that room?
I'm always just researching different events. So when going to events, you're going to meet certain people. And then certain people are going to match your vibe, your energy. And once y'all build a good relationship, they start opening different opportunities for you. And then when there's other events, boom, and then you just start seeing different people. My buddy, he does videography. He just went to his ranch and shot videos. They were just shooting guns and having fun out there. So that was cool.
Honestly, man, I love it, bro, because a lot of people, they don't know how important it is to meet individuals. Dude, let's go, like, you know, like when I say individuals, I mean not just anybody, but going out there and meeting people that are performing at high levels. When you meet people that are performing at a level that you aspire to be like, you tend to get that energy. You know what I mean? You just put yourself in a room where you get people that are just doing things and they're making moves and they're all over the place. it bleeds into your life, and then you know that you're capable of doing it because you realize that they're just normal people.
Yeah, they are.
Like really, they're normal ass
They're
people.
so normal. They're so normal. It's crazy.
It's the career path, really, is what
Yeah,
it is. You
it's
know?
just
And
media.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful, dude. Let's go back in time real fast. 'Cause I realize that I don't know a lot about you, so I'm gonna ask you a crap ton of questions about things, dude. Are you born and raised here in San Antonio?
Yeah, I'm born and raised from San Antonio. I lived on the west side of San Antonio all my life.
Orale.
Yeah.
that's the only thing I know what to say to the west side.
So the neighborhood I grew up in is called Las Colonias. It's by Eldridge, 36th Street, 90, Edgewood Academy,
I know exactly where that is.
Cuellar Park.
I grew up
that
near
area.
General McMullen in Las
Yeah,
Palmas.
Las Palmas, so that area right there.
Wow, that's hood, bro.
Yeah.
That's stupid hood.
Oh, yeah. I seen crazy stuff there.
Have you always thought about getting into tattooing? Because I know right now you have a huge operation.
So, growing up in the hood, being around the gangsters and the homies, you always saw the graffiti and that type of lifestyle. And I grew up around it. And then seen it. I got the inspiration of being creative with art and writing on walls. And then that took me away from that type of lifestyle. And then I developed an art skill I guess I really had inside since elementary.
You've been drawing for that like since you were a kid or what?
I've been drawing since elementary. I wasn't like a really great artist, but I was an artist.
Tattooing and drawing are two entirely different things, bro.
Drawing as a skill, like, you're right about it, but it correlates with each other in the same way.
I know people that can stencil a good tattoo, man, and that's it. They don't know how to draft the actual image. You have to give them the image, and then they tattoo it on you. You know what kind of people I'm talking about?
A little bit,
Yeah.
because that could go in different.
I see. Well, I'm very oblivious to the idea. You know, how old were you when you picked up the tattooing?
I was 17 years old. I had a buddy. We're at his house. He just kind of like not forced me, but he's like, "Hey, I have this machine I just got. You should tattoo me." It was a music note behind his ear, and I was kind of scared. I was like, I didn't know. I was scared. I was like, nah, I don't know. Like, nah, stop being a bitch. And like, just do it. Just do it.
I told you like that?
Yeah. So I just did it, and surprisingly, it was so weird that I already knew more or less. It just felt natural putting the needle, the tube, the rubber band. Like I kind of knew a basic idea of how to put it together, a machine, and not knowing prior experience. So I did the tattoo, and it came out pretty good. It's a little wobbles, but it was pretty solid for a first time tattooing.
How long did it take you to finish it?
It was a small music note behind the ear, so it was about maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Wow, bro.
And that's how it started that.
That's crazy, dude.
But growing up, I always got like I had family like locked up in prison, and the homies, we always had the envelopes. And then we had these handkerchiefs with drawings. We call them paños. We get them from prison. And my room was full of it. My dad's room was full of it, from like the ceiling, the floor, like from the top to bottom. Like there was no room of wall. It was just nothing but drawings.
Wow.
So growing up, I guess it was in my subconscious mind seeing it, and then being in the hood and graffiti, it just intertwined with it. And then I guess I just picked up the habit of just drawing.
I used to do graffiti, bro.
Yeah?
I was pretty damn good at it too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My tag name was Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah. Smoke. And I used to write that on walls everywhere, bro. But, I was real good with it. I used to go and get the markers from Hobby Lobby. I couldn't afford them, so I'd steal
Rack
them.
'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grab a bunch of them and just run out, bro.
Oh, yeah. We do that with spray paint at Home Depot, Walmart. We had a bag or backpack, and we would just rack like 20, 10, 5, 8 cans of paint.
There's like high quality cans you can buy in that field too. What are they called again? Prisma?
Montanas.
Yep.
You got the hardcore Montanas. You got Belton. You got Rusto. You got Iron Lac. You got a lot of Krylons. Oh my God, Krylons are old school.
Yeah.
So
that's what I used to get from Walmart. I think I was using Krylon cans when I was tagging.
yeah,
But I mean, I had like, there were parts of my neighborhood with just abandoned buildings everywhere.
those are my
And
favorite.
I was just killing it, man.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
just go and I'd practice in some random backyard in a house that wasn't even occupied, had been vacant for years.
Yeah.
I grew up around, where was it? Well, by the time we moved out from the west side of town, I moved into the central part of West Side. And so the school I ended up going to was, I remember there was a bunch of Lincoln Core Kings everywhere, man. Jefferson. I went to Jefferson High School.
Yeah, by Woodlawn.
Yeah, Woodlawn. It was, dude, that place was hood, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There was gangs everywhere, you know? I was like borderline going to join a gang, and I decided not to. Decided I'd be, you know, what would you call it? When you don't choose anything.
Yeah, Solano.
Passive,
Yeah, or
you know?
just yourself.
Or
yeah.
Ronin, if
Yeah,
you will.
you're just rolling one deep.
Yeah,
You're
and
by
I sold
yourself.
weed to both. I sold weed to the Bloods, sold weed to the Cribs, sold weed to the Kings. One day the Bloods got mad because they found out I was selling weed to the Kings. I didn't know that they had exclusivity on how I decided to sell marijuana at high school.
I know, my bad. Right.
And I got fucking jumped, bro. And they found out that I was graffitiing too. But, dude, they were already painting over this spot where this guy had tagged. And so I went over that spot myself because they had painted over it. So it was a fresh canvas, right? That guy thought that I did my shit over his shit. So they jumped me in high school.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. They jumped me in high school, and the Kings actually got my back, the ones from Lincoln Courts. So, you know, they helped me out a lot. And, man, I never stopped tagging, bro. I'm still pretty damn good at it.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I don't really talk about that part of me a lot, but, you know, from one artiste to another, because we both have different forms of art, you know, it's just really awesome to know that. I didn't know that you used to do, like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I done trains. I done walls, buildings. I tried to get on billboards, but I couldn't.
What was the tag name, if you don't mind me asking?
So it's called Eros, EROS, Eros.
That's dope.
And then I had a crew called AR. I think we were like the most, almost 50 deep.
Dang.
I was the leader. Me and my boy, we ran it.
What did AR stand for?
Always Wrecking, Another Rebel, Artistic Rebels.
Oh, that's right, because they're just letters, and then you can make out whatever.
Yeah, that's
one of my boys, his crew was DWI, and so there was like, you know, Dying Within, Demons, Wholesaling, Incubus, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
whatever DWI could stand for. But yeah, you know, I loved it so much just being in that culture because you get to meet other people that are also very creatively talented, you know?
Oh yeah, I met a lot of artists. We would exchange black books.
Some of them might not be entrepreneurs, but damn, are they so good at what they do?
Yeah, they still do the art.
I feel like the art's a very introverted skill.
Yeah, so with art, you could go into many different fields. You could go this way, that way. You could, as a career, you know, there's a lot of people doing production walls now.
I've seen that. And the murals too are crazy. There's a guy in town, I know his name. His name's Soup.
Yeah, the homie Nick. Yeah.
That dude is crazy with it. You know, I can't go to an art show without seeing that dude's art everywhere.
Oh yeah, he's in the Thompson, like the nice little hotel downtown, like right there. Big ass mural. Insane. Everywhere you go, that's major. He's done things with the Spurs.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
They do all the Ginobili murals and then
And they got paid really well for that.
That's beautiful, man. Honestly, it just amazes me because some people take their skill set to that level. And you clearly have, man. When did it start really, like, you were like, this is what I'm going to do now? Like, this is the thing. Because I know you do other things too, but I know that this is the thing, right?
So I think from graffiti, it opened up the window to learning how to tattoo. And then from learning tattooing, getting the experience, back and forth with shops. Okay, it was actually my homie Hector, one of my best friends.
We all have a homie named Hector. That's awesome.
He gave me the idea, why don't we just open a shop together? Or why don't you just do it already on your own? And the first thing I said, man, that's scary. And I don't have money like that, you know? So that was my mentality then. And he was always the one he's actually the one that got me out of my comfort zone from being, because like my family always conserved me at home and they didn't want me out and very like a bubble, like rowdy. I was that kid.
It sounds like a strict Mexican family.
Yeah. My mom really cared for me and she didn't want me doing nothing, I guess.
Same with my mom, bro. Same.
So it was actually my homie Hector is the one that pulled me from that and got me out of the sidewalk because my mom didn't let me leave the gate even. So my homie's like, man, come on. And then from that, we went walking around. Surprisingly, she let me. And that's when I started tagging on walls. And that same day, I was writing on stuff. And then from that, but anyways, it was my homie Hector that told me that about the idea. And then from there, I just learned that I could own a business with it. And then not just owning a business, a tattoo shop, but actually from the experience I got from that, now I could run a business. Because there's difference of owning a business and just having people under you, in and out, that's it, go home, or actually running a functional business and scaling it to another level. That's a different mentality, and been showing myself a lot. So hanging around with these people, I would call them my mentors, people I look up to, my circle of influence. I've been learning a lot the past, I think, 3 years is where like the entrepreneur side kicked in. Like I always felt like I was bigger than I was since a kid. And then, just those trials and errors as a kid growing up, from now owning like a shop, I think it's another door that opening that I'm going into an entrepreneur route.
It's the fact that you're here and you're not tattooing and you have time to say that I can make time for this podcast and the machine is still rolling. That's a beautiful thing, bro. That's that freedom that a lot of people that get into tattooing don't have, dude.
Or in any business, yeah.
Yeah, in any business, because I know a lot of people are slaves to the business.
Yeah,
and
so
you can be that, but then you're just an operator. You're not really the owner.
So at that point, would you call yourself a boss? So that's another thing I learned from you, because we were talking earlier how I met you, and I actually met you. I saw you at Lifestyle Unlimited.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I've been around that from when you started. It was like a couple months to a year after. You were still coming around, introducing yourself to people. You were the person in the back. You were the person that you knew the vision, and you were paying attention to these people, and you were trying to inspire to be them. But not be them, but your own, but be bigger than them sooner.
Yep.
And after that, that's when I started coming around this, learning about real estate or different ventures, that just making money in general. And then I stepped into that, and then I saw you and just the way you were holding yourself, and you just know people. When you see people, you know them. You see through them, and you're like, that dude right there is gonna be somebody.
That's dope, dude.
And then from that, I learned about real estate from YouTube, wholesaling, because Lifestyles didn't learn too much, you know?
Yeah. And you needed a lot of money and good
exactly.
credit to
So
do it.
I didn't have all that, you know? So from that, I learned on YouTube about wholesaling. And then I met the homies Mike and Charles.
Those are my homies, bro.
And then from there, I started working with them for a little bit, learning the business. But at the same time, I had my own shop going on. So it was like my foot on two banana peels. You know, you're going to slip if you don't focus on one. So I stepped down. I focused on my shop. But jumping into that, I think it was meant to be, because I saw the operation of a business. And then coming around with you, learning how to delegate a business and run a business functional. It's taught me so much where I'm at now, you know.
Bro, it's crazy seeing the growth, man. You know, how many people do you have tattooing at your shop right now?
So I got I think right now 4 or 5 that work with me.
Bro, it's crazy.
And I got one station open.
And I'm guessing that they pay a fee to the shop to tattoo out of it, correct?
So they're on commission.
Nice.
So I don't there's different ways you could own a business. So if you own a tattoo shop, it'll be ideal to have them under a percentage. It could be 50%, 60%, 65%, whatever you feel comfortable with. Everyone has their own thing. Some people are stingy, or some people do more of the work where it's fair to be at 50%. So I do most of the marketing, supplies, networking. I put them on. I show them. I mentor them. I show them everything. So they work with me. They are under me, but I always say they work with me. You know, that's the thing Charles taught me.
Because you're giving them the environment, right?
Exactly.
And I love that, man. Because you see that you know what culture is? If you don't mind if I drop some game real fast.
Go for it.
What do you think culture is, if you don't mind me asking?
I think culture, in my sense, for my business, what I got going on is like a family vibe. You come in, you just don't come in and because some people come into a place dragging into their workspace.
I've seen it.
So I don't think that's the right state of mind to come in. You should be ready to go, fueled. Your mentality has to be correct. Your energy's so well. So once you're in there, you're collaborating with other energies together, and having the right state of mind and ready to greet people. Your mentality is correct. You're ready for the day. You're ready to kill it, doing your best and giving your all to these clients.
I love it.
And culture is just family vibes, laughing and enjoying each other and having fun. You're just not looking at the clock.
Everybody's vibing. Everybody's going in the same direction. And you're getting so much done in a good, healthy environment. So that's what I told my mentor too, because I gave him the same answer. I was like, everybody in one spot winning. Everybody in their passion, doing what they love to do, having a great time doing it. You know what he told me? He said, that's one part of the formula of what culture is. And so I was like, dang, well, what do you mean? He's just like, think about this for a second. You go to church, right? Christianity is a very dominant religion here in America, correct? You go to a church, you have to act a certain type of way, correct? If you go in there mouthing off, cursing like a crazy person, what's going to happen? They're going to kick you out, and you're not going to be involved with the vibe. So when you go to church, without even realizing it, you're abiding to the set of rules that are in there. You walk to your seat, you're quiet, you're allowing the person to speak, you're there with a reason, you're there with purpose, you're there because you're in alignment with everyone else. That is something. That's called behavioral management. That is another form of culture. So culture is an environment that is healthy, that is thriving, that is potent, that everybody's winning in, with management behavioral management behind it. So why is this important, right? When you're able to bring people into an environment where people are thriving, but you're also managing their level of productivity towards where they're maximizing their time frame while they're there and making the most amount of money in the least amount of time, they understand the mission without you having to be there because they're managing their own behaviors. So it's like they're reading just like you are. They're vibing just like you are. They're networking just like you are. But it's because the standard has been set and they understand that when they walk into your building. That is a crazy way of looking at it, right? You told me that on Friday, man. I didn't think I was going to share it on a podcast this soon, but it fucking was like...
It's a good thing you're sharing it with me because you have no idea.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know, my mentor does 9 figures, brother. He's a crazy fucking guy. He'll be the first billionaire that I've ever met. I'm positive by next year around this time, he will be a billionaire. Because when he showed me his books in freaking June of this year, he was already at over $300 million in gross company revenue. That's insane, bro. I can't even imagine the level of problem solving that goes behind that. And it makes me feel like I'm playing at such a small level, even though I feel like I'm doing such an amazing job. But
exactly.
There is room for growth at all times in any level. That's why I'm very humble. Like, I'm a student to you, and you're saying that you've learned stuff from me, right? Just like things that we feed into each other, we go back and forth. It technically creates the culture that we want for ourselves in our own environments because we're coming together and we're talking about it on this podcast.
Yeah, circle of influence is very important.
That's why meeting Mike and Charles and meeting me and meeting everybody else and all the people that you've networked with. I mean, bro, you're doing something I don't see a lot of tattoo artists do here in town. I know a lot of tattoo artists. You know, my wife does tattoos.
She did piercings, no?
Yeah, she did piercings and tattoos.
Yeah.
She's been looking for a spot to tattoo out of. So, hey, we'll talk about that later. But aside from that, you know, she's talented. She does color. She does everything.
Yeah.
She's never done any of my tattoos, which is funny because I just don't care to have tattoos anymore.
Yeah, same.
You know, it's part of your craft and the things that you've done. To me, I got these when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But you're doing it like I don't see anybody else doing it, bro. I'm just being brutally honest. I'm not shitting on any tattoo artists because I know there's so many very well-known tattoo artists here in town that are doing it right. I'd put you up there with those guys that are doing it right, man.
And then I don't think, so that goes back to like people that own a business but not like fully know how to run the business.
Yeah.
Because you could just...
They own a hustle is what it is.
A hustle, yeah. And I feel like they still limit themselves, which is, it's like the same thing as a 9 to 5. You just go do your craft. Yeah, you work on your own. You just do your thing and you go back. You're home. But that's fine if they want to be there, and that's fine.
Of course.
They're comfortable. Like, to me, like, I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be so known because it's important for my business. It's important to network and meet people and talk. Do I want to go out there and talk? No. I think it's important. Like, I have to take myself out of the comfort zone. Like, there's nobody out there. I swear to God, there's no one out there networking like me in my industry. And I think it's important because it's a people's business. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. You're solving people's problems. You know, people need an artist. They don't know where. People want tattoos, but they don't know what they want. So we have value, we got our skills, we got our culture, we got our environment, we got I think we have a good foundation of a lot of things that we're just waiting for the right time, and it's just gonna blow up.
Where do you see yourself taking the company in the next 5 years?
I think I'll have 3 locations by then.
Dang, you're talking about scaling it up like that, bro. I see it. I probably see that happening within the next 2 years, to be honest. Like 5, I get that that's a goal, you know, but
Yeah.
that's insane, man. Where you at right now with your current location and the team that you have in place and how you're scaling this up, is it giving you free time?
I don't think. What do you mean by free time?
Like time that you can spend with people like your family and whatnot.
Because in my mind, that goes in different directions. Because I know you're a person that talks about the opposite now. Because you're already at a position where you could take time.
Yeah.
For yourself and
you're,
family.
You're telling me you're still building.
Yes, I'm still building. So I'm still in the real hustle, sacrificing time.
I see.
Like sacrificing. Yeah, when I'm networking, of course, I have some drinks, blah, blah, blah. I have fun.
How old are you right now?
I am 29.
Bro, that is crazy. To accomplish everything that you've accomplished. I know a dude that just opened up his first shop that's been tattooing since he was like 16, and he's 42, bro.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying, the pace that you're at is insane.
Like I think success loves speed. Like you got to be smart. You got to move with aggression, but calculated risk and knowing where you're going and knowing the next 10 steps ahead of you. Just like Patrick says, you got to know your next 5-10 moves. Like, I think it's very important, and not a lot of people think like that. They just think, oh, I'm just booked. Tattooing my clients, I'm good. What happens with slow season or this and that? Like, what happens if you break your arm or get in a car crash? Or I think of those things. Like I think of like, what if I get hurt? Like, to be honest, I don't want to tattoo all my life. I don't. Like I love it, and I only want to tattoo to a certain clientele, and then build on different things. Because deep in my heart, I feel like I am an entrepreneur. I don't want to just work and trade my time for money. I want my time. Like, so I'm building and establishing businesses to leverage, to build other businesses and cash flow and live off that. Cause you are tattooing, like people are tattoo right now, but they're still trading their time to get paid. But of course it's their passion, but like when it comes you need that money, you gotta like grind for it. Like, I just don't want that extra like scarcity. I don't want that extra, I gotta go work for it. Like I'd rather just go chill, or whoever I'm with at the time, let's go watch a movie or blah, blah, blah. When I put in the time for it, I don't have to go, I got a bill, I got paid $4,000. Okay, we can't do that. Let me go work. Like I just think different. Like,
it's a beautiful way of thinking. And let me give you confirmation that you're on the right path, bro. My mentor told me this, and I'm going to share it with you because my guy's just so flawless, bro. And I don't think there's a single, I'm sure everybody has problems, right?
Exactly. Everybody
does.
The
level that he's playing at require a specific type of problem solving. And so if I ever speak anything that he's told me, it's just always poured into my mind in such I'd say in an eloquent way towards where the message sticks, right? But you can make $1 million owning real estate. It's actually pretty damn easy to make $1 million. You could have 10 properties that you own that you pulled loans out of to buy all 10 of them, and all of them are valued at over $150,000. In the eyes of the IRS, you're considered a millionaire with that amount of money, in that amount of debt. He told me that if you want to make 8, 9, and even 10 figures one day, that real equity is in buying, scaling, systemizing, and automating big businesses. Think about Platinum Ink tattoos, bro. They're everywhere, right? You think the guy who owns that thing is actually at any of them?
It's a funny story you brought that up.
You know what I mean? And maybe that might not be the best comparison, but this is one of the things that I've looked at. I look at businesses, right? I've made a lot of money in real estate, bro. I can't deny that. I've made a crap ton of money in real estate, to be honest. And I'm damn grateful for it. So I'm not saying this in a beating my chest, egotistical way. What got me to 8 figures was automating and scaling a big business, bro. And that was the thing that actually saved my life. That gave me the freedom to do the things that I'm doing right now, to spend the time with my lady, to spend time with my son, to see my mother, to buy my mom a new grill, to buy my mom a new SUV, to do all of these things that I never thought that I could do before. It started with creating a big business, not with owning real estate. Because you can have 100 properties and each one of them making you $300 a month. Well, how much money is that, right? Do the math on that. That's $30,000 a month in passive income. I just created a business with my friend Aaron 3 weeks ago, and it's already at 38 grand a month in passive income. It requires but 2 hours of my time every week. That's it. I'll take that over anything else, bro, because that gives me my freedom back. And so you can make a lot of money going the real estate route, which is the slow route, or you can make a crap ton of money building and scaling a business. Because guess what? If you get a business to producing $100,000 a month in passive income, you got a business producing 1.2, 1.4, 1.8 million dollars a year. You can sell that business for 10 times its value, bro.
Exactly.
And you can franchise it. You can literally give off positions of it, and you can make a lot of money up front by doing this, to use that to go and buy those 10 properties that you want.
Exactly. And
you're on the right path.
And so I've been in my industry going on 11 years this Christmas Eve. So within that 11 years, I was just hustling, building a name, building how to do things. So now what I'm learning as an entrepreneur and business owner is exactly what you just mentioned. So doing that, coming from just hustling and owning all this, like I could do it, but before I didn't have that mindset. It was just hustle, exchanging the time for the money. But now I'm in a position that, okay, now I've hustled so much, now I own a business, I'm established. Now it's time for phase 2, is delegation. Now learning the systems and processes and all the things we talked about and exactly what you mentioned, that will be step 3 for me. So now that once I become liquid with my business, which I will be by the end of next year, I could start moving money into real estate, buying cash or pulling out, I'll have good credit, leveraging credit, business credit, and different moves, power moves to be doing all that.
I love it, bro.
So I think I'm a scale on a huge level within the next 2 to 3 years. And
I'm excited to see it, dude.
So and it's so crazy because we were with Gary Vee at his event. You remember that in Dallas?
Yeah.
It's so crazy before he brought that up about your scaling your businesses, having the time and freedom like that. Because when we met in Dallas, we took a photo. I had posted it and I told myself I will be clearing 6 figures soon with me and you on the photo, because I inspired to be doing numbers like you one day. At that time, I was at the West Side shop, the location, doing maybe 30, 40,000 a month. I mean, not a month, a year, regular, tattoo salary, whatever. So now 2-3 years later with my business, I think we just probably hit a quarter closing out this year.
Wow, bro. That is crazy,
and
dude.
it's crazy saying that because 2 years ago, posting that photo, deep in my heart, saying I will be clearing 6 figures. And now I am clearing 6 figures. Is just an example of, of course, manifestation, but working and putting myself in position to be clearing that. And then for now, what I'm doing, learning from you, Aaron, Charles and Mike, and all my mentors and my circle of influence, building the infrastructure so crazy. By next year, my goal, I think I should be clearing, 650.
What?
And that's being conservative.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane, dude.
Because I have homies that own tattoo shops that are clearing 1.5, 2 million a year. One shop.
Dang.
It's just how they're structuring it, I've been picking their brains a lot, and I'm playing at a smaller level. But I know that we're talented. I know our vision is just learning the systems. And having the capital and marketing for it.
There's this thing that I learned when I went to Business Mastery. By the way, if you're really trying to get your business to like a 8-figure, 9-figure level and just completely demolish those guys that you're referencing, with all due respect, because as a business owner, you have to be competitive. I would highly recommend that you invest into a Business Mastery because you'll learn so much from Tony Robbins about business. And so he talks about this thing, right? And this is how you're going to be able to really scale a business. He calls it one moment, hold on, I'm getting it. It's in my head. He calls this it is like a circle, right? And then you're standing inside of this circle. And so this circle here is your level of your ability to be able to solve a problem. And this is one of the things that I love so much because Tony always puts things into perspective. He calls this not the zone of maximization. It's that's another thing that I'll talk about on probably another podcast if you guys are listening. Dang, what the heck was this thing called? The circle is... So this circle that you live inside of, there's a name for it. I'll get back into it here in another episode. But that circle is essentially your level of problem solving, and you're within it. So whenever problems happen inside of... It's called a threshold of control. Boom. That was the word. Whenever a problem happens within this circle, it's within your threshold of control, meaning that it's something that you can take care of very easily. It's a problem that you can solve, and it's over within a couple of minutes because your ability to be able to solve that problem is inside of this threshold, right? Now, how do you expand on this? It's the same way that someone goes to a gym and they lift the same weight for a very long period of time. Well, what's going to happen to your body's adjusting to the mass, right? So your body's built to keep you alive at all times. It fights off sickness. It's consistently getting stronger. If you start running, your body's going to condition itself to handle that workload. If you're eating the right amount of food and drinking the amount of water and you're taking in the right nutrients, the education that you pour into yourself and the resources and whatever, you're able to expand the capacity of what you're capable of pushing on a bench, miles that you run, on a treadmill, whatever it is, right? I know guys that start at one push-up and then at the end of the year they can do 101 sitting. I know guys that start at one pull-up and then at the end of the year they can do over 15 to 20. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that your body adjusts to the pressure. It adjusts to the problem that you put on it. And so in this thing that I learned, this quote unquote threshold of control, well, truthfully, did anything change in the workout? If I'm benching, does that workout change in any type of way? I could, yeah, but it's still just me pressing weight against my chest and pushing it right back up, right? That's the bench. Now, what changes is the level of pressure. That's it. That's the problem. And so this threshold of control that you have is inside of what you're capable of doing. Well, how do you expand upon that? You take on bigger problems. Yeah. And so once you solve that problem and it becomes easy, guess what happens to your threshold?
Next one.
It expands as well. So now you're able to control things to a level of capacity that you didn't know that you were capable of doing. Mm-hmm. And so if you want to scale from where you're at right now to getting to $1 million, you got to start thinking about how can I solve $1 million problem versus a 6-figure problem? Because that's what changed for me. And that was one of the things over the last 2 years, brother. I've jumped two zeros in my bank, right? 3, I think, at this point, because with the amount of money that we've been making on all these different business adventures, I have 18 different companies. I'm not saying this again to flex. I just say it the way it is, bro, because there's really no other way to say it. But I credit that business mastery to that level of growth. I didn't know how to run a business until I went to that. And that changed my life. Not to mention, I met other people that were there that were also had amazing businesses. I met a guy that had 300 chains in Ashley's Furniture, and that's a franchise. He bought 300 of them. This dude was doing a little over 800 million in sales every single year. And he paid $100,000 a month to be mentored by Tony Robbins directly. He's a lion. They call him lions. There's a bunch of them. There's about like maybe 400 people that pay $100,000 a month. So my dude, Tony, is bringing in that much passive income by coaching. He has people that are paying $100K a month, but what is he also getting from being involved with people that are making that amount of money? Proximity. Exactly. Because there's power in proximity. Exactly. And you are like literally on the cusp of it because you're meeting people that are powerful, that are in crazy places. You know, they talk about your network being your net worth, right? That's bullshit, bro. You have value to add to your network.
Exactly.
That's what's amazing about what you're doing.
Yeah, I think people get it confused. Like, I still use that line, but there's more to it.
There is.
That people don't see. And then like I said, like being in the West, my location, I had it for 4 years. So I had my trials. At first, I didn't even have money to like get the deposit. I didn't have anything, but the drive, the hunger, you're gonna figure it out. After time, running through different artists, coming here, doing this, you kind of learn the same systems. And then I'm like, man, I need to get out of here. I would have because my clientele, they drive nice cars, they have decent jobs, and then they're coming to like a hood, and then sometimes they're like, they tell me like they're kind of nervous. You could see it in the demeanor, or they're kind of nervous, or they're like, oh, are you sure we're okay, or it's just different. So it will make me feel uncomfortable having people feel uncomfortable at a business that is comfortable for me. So the thing that really, really changed, was this one client that came in, and I was tattooing her. I was like, what do you do for business, or what do you do for your job? I meant. She's like, oh, I work for a marketing firm, like a huge marketing firm. I don't know the name, but I was like, well, marketing, what do you mean marketing? Like, exactly, what do you do? I just nitpick people. And she was like, well, I run all their social media pages. I get clients. I do this and that. I was like, so marketing page, like, what do you mean marketing? Like, because back then I did kind of know about marketing, but that marketing was just posting. I didn't know about Google, ads, the KPI, all that.
Yeah.
So I was asking her, like, what do you mean by marketing? What's that? Well, I run this and that. And I was like, how do you do that? Like, what do you, I was just trying to dig in, and she was kind of like gatekeeping. She was like, why are you asking? Like, what do you, I'm like, I'm just a curious person. Like, I would love to know. It would probably help me in my business. And she was like, kind of like getting irritated by me asking. That's the way I took it. And then at first, she told me, like, before she got there, that she was nervous getting there. And that she looked up the address before she got there, and she was like, oh, it's in the hood. She got nervous. She came with her friends, and she was very nervous. And when she got there, they were kind of like, deep in their mind, they were uncomfortable. So that was already there. And then me talking about that, she was kind of like giving me a little, sass. And I was like, okay, well, you don't got to tell me if you don't, but I just want to know. I'm a sponge. Anything you tell me, I'm going to learn. She's like, you know what? You want to learn? You really want to learn? The first thing you need to do is get the fuck out of the West Side. I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to just tell you, first off, you need to get out of here. Like, we came here, like, we only came here because of you and what we know of you, and we respect your business. But the location, first off, is not the prime location that you want to build at. So, yeah, she just told me straight up like that. And it didn't hurt me because I already knew I needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
But that was a good punch in the face validation. Like, okay, I need to really get on my ass. And it just, like, my paradigm shift just clicked. The next day, I called my buddy Oscar. He's a realtor. And, hey, I need to start sending me listings for suites. And I didn't even have, like, money for none of this. I just needed to figure it out. And it took me a good year to find the spot. And then that's where we're at now. And I just got out of it. Like, that girl gave me so much fire. And then in my head, I'm like, I'll show you. Like, I will show you that I will get out of here and my people will be comfortable in my environment. And it hurt, and it hurt in a good way. And then I'm tired of seeing people walking by, the druggies, and, I've been in shootings outside the shop. Cops, ambulances, helicopter. You hear the birds every night over there, which is a helicopter. You see the same people, the same energy, the same draggy faces. It's just not, the poverty is not where I want to be. I outgrew it. I don't want to be there. I'm trying to scale and give back to my community and be someone great. So, yeah, from that lady, it's really that pushed me. So
Shout out to that lady, bro.
Yeah, I forgot her name too.
It's all good, man. We don't forget how it made us feel.
Exactly.
That's the most important part.
So what you're saying about your proximity, outgrowing it, I was stuck in that problem until I got into a new problem, which was a way bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because jumping into that rent, oh God, at that time, it's like, geez, how am I going to afford this?
Scary, bro.
So it's another thing is, to me, is one of my mentors, Bob Proctor. I listen to him a lot. Talks about the mindset and the way you talk. So I would talk about shit. I was so nervous about how I'm going to afford it. I signed the lease. I signed everything. I knew I'm going to do it. I didn't know how I'm going to do it. I just knew I'm going to do it. How I'm going to afford it, I don't know, but I'm not going to fucking give up. So Bob Proctor says a lot of things about your paradigm shift, the way you think, the way you handle life is, you just got to think different. I don't want to go to, it's another story.
It's
but
beautiful. Yeah, I love that guy. That's
yeah,
one of my
yeah.
mentors too.
So he talked about, it's not how, don't say how you're going to afford it or how can you afford it. So the words you speak, you know, is very important, you know, manifestation and law of attraction and taking action.
Your subconscious hears it, and then you're...
Exactly, yeah, because it vibrates within you and you attract what you don't want. So that's another thing I talk about with people, you know, the words you speak is very important. Like, what you tell yourself is true or false, you know. Like, I have it tatted on me. It says, I am. Like, I am whatever I tell myself I am. I am a multi-millionaire. I am financially free. I am the greatest at what I do. I do serve my people. I do serve my communities. I do, you know, I'm a loving person. I give back. Like, I tell myself these things every day. When I drive, when I sleep, when I wake up, when I'm brushing my teeth. Like, I talk to myself and I tell myself good affirmations because it's good for you, you know. I feed myself.
It is.
Yeah.
You feed your soul, bro.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Talk about growth, dude. That's crazy. We've come a long way from being at that We Live event, dude.
Yeah, and then and next month I will be at Alex Morton. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Alex Morton, Grant Cardone, Rob Dyrdek, Ed Milet.
That's one of my favorite speakers of all time.
Man, I brought a front row VIP pass, a private penthouse party, masterminding with them.
Wow.
Like, it's going to be off the hook, and I couldn't miss it. I just had to do it. So next month, we'll be in Miami over there.
That's what I'm talking about,
so
bro.
It's important, like, especially to the people listening, like, I think it's very important that you really focus on yourself. You double down on yourself. Like you said, you reverse engineer. It first starts with yourself and your mind. You got to get yourself correct. Feed yourself good information, good values. Just really learn, put yourself in the position with the right people, and you're going to learn so much and go so far. And then be open to criticism, and, you know, because there's people that get mad at me for doing certain things, and I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to change those habits, you know. Like,
it's the fact that you took that lady who was just a customer's advice, bro, so heavily, and that was like, she has no clue. I don't know if you still tattoo her, but...
Yeah, I talked to her recently, and I told her.
You know, that's just a crazy thing, because sometimes, brother, God sends you people, and they tell you things that God was trying to get to you. You know what I mean? And just that one thing increased your income tenfold, bro.
Oh, yeah, tenfold.
And you got amazing people in your corner now, and you've got an environment that you're building out over there, and a culture that's just immaculate.
And I still struggle. I'm still...
Oh, yeah, me too, bro.
I'm a year in. Yeah, I'm a year in, and just because I'm making six figures don't mean, I got that money, you know. We got bills, we got expenses, we got payroll, we got marketing, we got budgeting, we got our own payments, we got car payments, we got this and that. Like, I'm not profitable yet. I'm still building, you know. But the future is bright and shit. It's going to be good. I just know it.
I see it, bro. I see it. Dude, I appreciate you being on my podcast, man. It means a lot to me, bro. For all of you guys that are listening, dude, make sure that y'all follow my guy, Nacion, on all of his social media. I'm going to drop it in the comment section. Dude, honestly, bro, it's just crazy to see the level of growth that you've had over the time frames that I've known you for a while now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're just in an entirely different place, playing at an entirely different level. And you're putting yourself in the right places, too. Like the fact that you immediately invested money into going to see Ed and Grant and all those good guys, people that I've literally like gotten a chance to speak on stage with and literally have been in the same room with them, dude, the energy they bring is just crazy. Like, I don't know any other tattoo people that are doing that.
Nah, like I can't wait. Like I look up to them. Just they're so smart, and man, the level of vibration they speak on is so heavy.
It is, dude.
Like I can't wait to be sharing a stage with you one day, like talking.
Dang.
Like I will be talking to millions of people one day, traveling the world and building schools and doing the craziest things that I've never gotten a chance to do when I was younger. The things I didn't have, I will be giving them to people, you know.
I am. I love it, bro. Guys, thank y'all so much for being on the podcast and listening to what my guy Nacion and I were talking about. Y'all make sure you like, subscribe, share. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's get it.